If we go back to home now, you'll see though that we could create a few extra things within here. We could do some of the simple editing. We could change the fill colors of the boxes in here. We could change the text color. We can change the text size, make it bold. You can even add in little thumbs up, thumbs down. This gives you a great way to build a nonlinear project realistically. And these little icons help you do that, because let's say you were presenting something that wasn't a PowerPoint. It didn't go in sequential order. You had a main topic and a bunch of subtopics, okay? You could actually go through and ask the students, out of these 10 different things, what would you like to discuss first? Because it could be that subtopics don't have priority. They are not hierarchical in nature. It doesn't matter what order you cover them in, as long as you cover them. So you could have the students discuss what exactly you like to cover first. You can go through it that way, and you can use these cute little icons to kind of marcate or demarcate things, how you would like to take care of them. You can actually put 1s, 2s, 3s, so that you can know exactly what order you want to check them in. Over here next to those symbols is the hyperlink. Literally, that makes a hyperlink to something. And most of us know how hyperlinks work, but if you don't, you can click on this and tell this to link to a certain URL on another page. In other words, like a web address. You can link it to another Mindomo document. You can link it to a PowerPoint, to a Word document, whatever it is you want to link it to. You can make each of these child nodes link to their own thing. So if you want to take a look through that, that'd be great. You can also attach things straight to nodes or to parent nodes, where if you just click on it, it will open that document up because it's already linked and already put in there. What I'm going to take a look at now, though, is this relationship button right here. This relationship button, if we click on it, shows a relationship between two things. For instance, there's Mindomo and there's FreeMind. And we're going to show that relationship. Why would I do that? Well, in this case, Mindomo and FreeMind are both mind mapping softwares, and I may want to talk about or move things around or discuss things in a manner so that the students understand that these two things are very much related. Let's leave the realm of the home dashboard here, or the home menu, and move over to the insert menu here. Once again, you see the hyperlink in there and the attachments and the topic features. That is also in the home features, as well as the relationships, and all that stuff is just a secondary issue in insert, which is fine. Those are the things that we can insert. But if you look over here, you can actually insert some different images, some preset images. This is just clip art that you can use, but you can also click on this image over here and go and search or pick from an image from your file. It's like inserting a picture from file in Microsoft PowerPoint. You can click on this and actually upload something. You can actually go in here and insert it from a web page like you could with the Google presentations. You can do a myriad of different things with the image insert. We are done with inserting. Let's go on over to format. Formatting can be really fun, and you can get lost in formatting very easily. Once again, we see the relationship builder here. That we've already gone over, so we won't talk about that. Boundaries, you can build boundaries around certain nodes so that you know that they are related. For instance, if I take this boundary button here and I click on it, it says, what kind of boundaries do you want to choose? Well, I'll pick the rounded rectangle boundary, and you'll see that it's around that node now, there on the bottom. It has a red outline around it. But if I were to select more than one node and click that boundary button, it would create a boundary around all of those nodes, kind of letting you know that they're all within the same family, they're all within the same group, what have you. You have to select multiple nodes at once in order to do that. You can actually change the color of those boundaries, the fill color and the line color, by clicking on some of those buttons. One of the neat features within Mindomo is the map style changer. You can go and upload styles from other places on the website, but they have a bunch within here, if you just scroll down here, that are already pre-built into Mindomo. So if I click on this one, I get that green sort of charcoaly background, and my buttons all look different now, my nodes all look different. And I can actually go over here and change the width of my entire document. I change the height of my document. I can even go back to this map style, like I said, do change style, and it's got a drop down. I can set things as default, so I can make my own styles where I can then import them later. Last one we want to talk about is view. Underneath the view tab here, you can zoom out, zoom in. You can even change whether or not the map is going to fit directly on your screen or not. When you start creating these elaborate maps, they're going to get enormous, and you're going to have all these little parent and child nodes all over the place. This is a subset of this, so on and so forth. And eventually, you'll want to kind of just step back and take a look at what your map looks like when you're all done, so that you can say, that's a good looking map. That's exactly how I want these things to be linked together, or I might need to move this node over to this other subsequent subtopic, whatever it is. When you are completely finished with Mindomo, though, the most important part about Mindomo is the ability to share it with other people, whether it's actually going through and sharing it by giving a link to this to somebody else who uses Mindomo so they can come in here and use it, or if it's just exporting it as an image file so that you can print it off, use it in a PowerPoint, send it off to somebody else in an email. So let's take a look at a few of those different options for us. If I click on this big round button up here, you'll see that it actually gives me a bunch of different options here. I can save this, which I'm going to do. Brings me to this dialog box here that assumes that I want to name it whatever the parent central topic node said, which sounds fine to me. I'm just going to hit save, digital util. So now it's saved. I'm going to go back up to that round Mindomo button, and I'm going to take a look at some of the other options. If I float up and down here, I can see that I've got a bunch of different options, including that share button. I can share this with other people. If I click on that, you'll see that I can add in here an email of somebody that I'd like to share it with. For instance, if I want to share it with everybody in my class, I can kind of load in that group email to those people that I want to share it with. And from there I can choose, do I want them to have just read and write capabilities? Do I want to give them the modify content? Do I want them to be able to delete the map? Well, in a lot of cases, you'll probably give them the read and write capabilities, and you might even give them the modify content capabilities. But you probably never want to give anybody the ability to delete or eradicate your map. So let's just leave that one alone for most cases. Once you actually have invited people to collaborate on this Mindomo map, you'll notice that they will start to build up down here in this section right here. Let's get back to one last thing before we're done. When I want to share this with other people, not in the sharing email as collaborators terms, I actually want to give it to them as an image, I would use the export task. Saving it isn't going to do anything. Saving is going to save it as a Mindomo project. But if I go to export, I have a bunch of options over here. I can save it as just a regular old image, as a PNG, JPEG. JPEGs are really great to send via email. And that's actually how I'm going to have you save your Mindomo map to send to me in your project, because you're going to have to create a Mindomo mind map document, and then you're going to have to save it as a JPEG. You're going to send that JPEG to me. So you're going to create this JPEG, this. You're going to click on it. It's going to export it as a JPEG. It's going to save it on your computer. You will then send me an email with an attachment. But before I do that, let's just take a look at some of the other ones that you can do. You can do it as plain text, or you can do it as rich text format, or you can even do it as a PDF document. I'm going to get back up to the images here though. Click on that, go to JPEG, and it should bring up a brand new dialog box for you. The only thing that wants to know after you tell it, yes, I want to save this as a JPEG, is you have to tell it where you want to save it. You click on the browse button, you find a place within your computer, use your dialog, whether you're a Mac user or a PC user, you find your file allocation section and you save it in there. You pick where you want to save it, and boom, it slams it right down into that file folder. And when you're done, it says exporting has finished, and you click finish, and you're all done. You ought to be able to go find that document now from your file folder. Once you've found it in your file folder, you should be able to open it up in any kind of image viewer, and it should look something like that. Mine's got a little thumbs up in there. But this is basically a snapshot of whatever you had open in Mindomo at the time. That's what I expect you to send me in the email.